Standing out in a crowded market is a challenge that businesses and entrepreneurs complain a lot about to us. It's not a new problem though, it's something that businesses have successfully dealt with for decades. Let's talk about how they do this in this short video. I'm Naeem Arif, Customer Focus Enabler and Business Transformation Expert. Being able to stand out in a crowded market is a challenge that many businesses and entrepreneurs are facing today. They're complaining about it, saying it's really difficult because what's happening is that they're seeing competitors spring up from nowhere. People can get into business a lot quicker nowadays. The barriers to entry to the industry are a lot smaller. In addition, people who are already there in business are expanding their territories, either in terms of the regions they're operating in, or the products they're delivering, or the services that they provide. So with that in mind, we're finding that there are more and more options for customers to select. And if they've got more and more options, then it's easier for them to not buy our services, but buy someone else's services. So as a business, what you want to try and do is stand out in that crowded market. You want to come across as that expert, that best service provider, that real value add supplier of your products or services. And this is a challenge that businesses and entrepreneurs are facing a lot today, and they're constantly looking at innovative and effective ways to overcome this challenge. Now, if you're a big brand, it's quite easy. You'll spend millions of pounds in advertising. You'll get your message out there. You will talk in a manner which people recognize that you have that experience and you are that preferred supplier. So if you have the money to do it, great. Get out there, get your marketing engine working and get your message out there. The thing that you want to do is make sure that when your potential customer is thinking about buying something that you provide, they remember your brand first. And this is where big businesses have that upper hand, because they've got the volume, because they've got the history, because they've got the budgets to get their messages out there. They're making it a lot more difficult for the smaller fish, for the SMEs to win that market share. So what can we do as businesses, as entrepreneurs in that SME space who want to become memorable, who want to stand out as a specialist, maybe as your niche supplier? Here are 5 simple ways that you can stand out in a crowded market and fight those big brands. And you know what we all say at NAC? We say, we don't want you to challenge those big brands, we want you to beat them. One of the challenges that you will have is having that wide range of stock, that massive warehouse capability to hold all those products and services that the bigger brands hold. So why don't you think about and take advantage of fulfillment partners who can provide that service to you? Move a lot of your cash flow and a lot of your capital out of stocks and set up relationships and partnerships with people like an Amazon or other third parties who can help fulfill your orders for you without the need for you to carry those stocks. The challenge that businesses used to have is that in order to get in front of potential customers, they'd have to take out an expensive advert in the newspaper or on the radio or on the TV or a massive billboard somewhere. Social media makes this a lot easier for us to do. Now, I'm not saying that social media is the answer to everything, but it's certainly a way for you to get your message into the palms of your potential customers and targets. Everyone out there is using social media today. Very few businesses are not having a presence on social media. So again, how are you going to stand out? Well, look to be personable, look to be memorable, look to talk in a way and act in a way, and look to be visible in the places that your target customer is likely to look. So pick the platforms, pick the type of messages that those target customers are likely to look for, understand, appreciate, and remember. Similar to using fulfillment partners, think about how you can be multi-channel. So multi-channel means a few different things. It means being able to have an online presence and an offline presence. So an online store and an offline store, an online catalogue and an offline catalogue. That's a simple way, but how about thinking about different ways in which people can buy your services? Now, an easy way to do this is to find people that you can partner with. So people who sell comparative products or complementary products or services, and look to see if you can set up a relationship whereby you and they can sell each other's services or products in their businesses through their existing channels, and in doing so get a mutual benefit for each other. So think about being multi-channel, think about multiple partners to help you, and think about having online and offline presence. Create and develop a strong, credible presence for your brand. Okay, this means a lot of things, and this is possibly one of the most important things that you can do as an entrepreneur and as a business. Think about how your brand is unique. Your brand has some certain skills and expertise that the competitors don't have. Think about where you can really go deep into a certain niche area and be able to stand out as the expert in that space. We're not saying that you should be a niche such that you only sell certain products, but if you can become an expert in anything, then people will recognize you as an expert in that thing, and they'll also buy your services, even though if they're not buying them specifically for your area of expertise. So a photographer who focuses specifically on photos of children can also get work selling photography to families, adults, weddings, events, and all sorts of other things. But it's very difficult to be known as an expert or have an expert brand in every single type of photography. So pick something, become a real expert in it, position yourself in that position, but don't feel that that limits you to just that space. That gives you the opportunity to stand on a pedestal, to build a strong brand, and it still gives you the opportunity to sell into other spaces as well. Now, as well as being that expert, the way that you really strengthen your brand is the creation of multiple online and offline, digital and physical assets. Now we're talking about case studies, we're talking about blogs, we're talking about advertising, we're talking about being present at certain types of events, networking events, meetups, being associated with charities, being associated with good causes. There's lots of ways in which you can position your brand and become memorable and strong so that when customers are ready to buy your product, your name comes to the forefront. Now, the number one thing we always talk about is being customer focused. Okay, it's the answer to so many challenges in businesses that we should all be doing this at the start of the list. Now, we want you to be memorable for your customers, but that starts by understanding who your target customer is. That starts by understanding what good service means to them. That starts by not being greedy, so not chasing the money, but chasing customer satisfaction. The best way for you to stand out in a crowded market is to be so great and provide such an amazing service and package and experience to your customers that they will happily say, don't go to that place, use these guys. I've used them myself and I have a great time. The best recommendations always come from family and friends. So leverage that great service, that great experience in order to get your brand standing out in a crowded market.